Danielle Aromashodu, and I'm presenting my PowerPoint on concentration training. The title of my PowerPoint is Efficacy of Concentration Training in Athletic and Sport Activities. The purpose of my review was to assess methods of building sport concentration, determine the most effective concentration methods as well. Within my paper, the methods that were used were participants were assessed using surveys, films, assessments, and practical applications. The results yielded similar findings. Athletes responded best when they ignored irrelevant distractions during games and focused on relevant cues. The conclusions of many of my studies were: performance can be improved by practicing visualization, self-talk, switching attentional styles, and internal focus during stressful game situations. The key words in my paper were concentration, attention, attentional style, internal focus, and external focus. Introduction. Distractions can negatively affect concentration for athletes who are under pressure during major games. CT, or concentration training, refers to maintaining focus. Weinberg and Gould, 2015, defined concentration as the ability to focus on relevant cues. Concentration training is referred to as enhancing attentional focus on the relevant cues. There are 4 major factors involved in the issue of concentration training. One of them is type of attention. The second is what to focus on. The third is situational awareness. And the fourth is switching attentional styles. The first one, type of attention, there's 2 different types of attention. There's width, which is broad to narrow, and there's direction, which is external to internal. For example, a player who plays volleyball would be required to have a wider style of attention when they're receiving the ball. They need to focus on the larger aspect of the court. Whereas a volleyball player who is about to strike a ball would need to have a narrow external form of attention because they need to process where the ball is and when they should strike. A second factor is what to focus on. Attentional selectivity, according to Weinberg and Gould, 2015, refers to selectively processing and ignoring information. This means having the ability to know what information one needs to take in and know when to eliminate distractions and ignore them. For example, serving a volleyball in a loud, crowded gym will be very distractful under pressure. However, attentional selectivity comes into play when a player ignores the outside noise and focuses on serving the ball and what technique they need to get the ball over the net. In these situations, self-talk helps attentional selectivity. By telling yourself, "I got this," or "relax," you'll ignore the crowd. Situational awareness. Situational awareness is defined by Weinberg and Gould, 2015, as sizing up a situation and making an appropriate decision. This also involves being spatially aware of court, field, and track, so basically the whole athletic environment. With situational awareness, it involves being able to multitask, being able to see your opponent, but also being able to see where the basketball is on the court. The fourth factor, switching attention styles, it involves being quickly able to switch styles during games. For example, Mack in 2009 used the 400-meter hurdle example. A runner who is approaching a hurdle will need to have a narrow external focus when they approach it. They need to be able to know how close the hurdle is to them at all times. Whereas when the runner is in need of judging what position they are in the race, they need a broad external focus. When this same runner needs to assess the stride length between each hurdle, they need to use a broad internal focus for assessing it. Prevention and control. Organizations focused on concentration and attention are the American Psychological Association, Hinkle 1994, and the CHADD, which is Children and Adults that suffer from Attention Deficit Disorder and Hyperactivity. The American Psychological Association works to integrate sports psychology programming into schools, agencies, communities, things like that. And CHADD strives to improve ADHD medication and practical methods for treating concentration deficits. CHADD does this by improving on the medication that ADHD individuals take so that they won't be as strong and negatively affect someone's body. There are various recommendations that I received from reviewing the literature regarding concentration training. One of the recommendations was athletes should focus on current situations, not subsequent plays, meaning an athlete should not worry about how he's going to perform 2 minutes from the line. They should worry about the now moment, meaning how are they going to do in the current situation. A second recommendation, which is continually work on concentration training. This was given by DiCorrado et al. At 2014. And what they explained was concentration is something that you have to build on. You're never fully expert at it, and it can always be enhanced. Another recommendation from Fournier et al. 2011 was focus on central objects during movements, meaning a golfer should have a focal point in the distance so that they can better strike the golf ball. Another recommendation would be to control arousal. This was given by Holland in 2006, and it refers to being able to calm yourself down and not get so aroused by a crowd and opponent. So you can do this by engaging in self-talk, telling yourself to relax when you're not relaxed, or telling yourself to do better on the next play, things like that. Another recommendation is employ internal focus drills. That was given by Jett et al. 1985. What this means is to focus on the body. So it's not so much about how you perform, but how you control your movements so much. In summary, the review showed that athletes should increase concentration training. MAC 2009 stated that. And by doing so, you'd be able to increase your performance in sports. Another point of my entire PowerPoint would be concentration is an acquired skill, meaning it's not something that someone's born with. You can always develop it at any time and enhance it. Also, coaches must help athletes to separate irrelevant cues from relevant cues, meaning they must teach their athlete how to weed out distractions from important situations in the game, what they should react to and what they shouldn't react to. Coaches should also help athletes be able to swiftly change attentional styles, meaning an athlete needs to know when he needs to focus narrowly or wider, internal or external. Also, coaches should help athletes to improve self-talk and visualization skills, meaning coaches should help athletes visualize their goals, whether it be short-term or long-term, and coaches should also help athletes to envision themselves making a shot, spiking a ball, running through the line in first place. This is the end of my PowerPoint. Thank you for viewing it, and I hope you enjoyed and learned a lot about concentration training.